Hello there and welcome to another layout update by LNERFan4472. Now visually things don't look like they've changed very much. Actually it's on the contrary, because if we look underneath the baseboard, we start here, we can see, you might not be able to see very well, but the power bus is now in place and various chock blocks have been implemented to supply power to this bit over here, which has an electro-frog junction, and it works absolutely fine. Power is being fed into it via 3 different points, which is here, positive and negative. And if we trail off to these 2 tracks here, there's another one here, and the other one is just back here. I don't know why I separated them both, just a bit personal preference really. And all this bit runs like a dream. And people say the electro-frog points are a bit of a hassle because they short circuit all the time. That is not the case, because if I just look at an insole frog point, we can see that the plastic bit is just that V bit there, just here where my finger is. You can't see it because the focus isn't very good, but it's just there. With the electro-frog points, all this bit is metal, which obviously means this bit is prone to short circuit, unless you implement the isolated bit somewhere else, which is over here, where these plastic fish plates are. Basically, these plastic fish plates are the plastic bit isolating that bit. But electro-frog points do have their drawbacks. They rely on the contact between this and this to transfer the electricity over to the other tracks. That's why I've got these wires in to feed power to improve electrical conductivity. And there's one electro-frog point in. I'm not sure I'm going to replace every single one of them, especially on this part here where the junctions get quite complex. So I think I'll just leave all of those insole frog. But if you're going to make a 2-way junction that leads off to 2 tracks and 2 end tracks like a sardine, jobs are good and no hassle whatsoever, and they run like a dream. Also, some hefty track work has been undertaken. If you follow me on Twitter, you will know that I posted a tweet the other day saying that I'm doing away with all Hornby points, and I am. I'm sick to death of them because of the massive dead zones and because of how unrealistic they are. So these 2 points here used to be Hornby express points. Now they're Pico insole frog points. Although they still have a little bit of a dead zone, it's nowhere near as big compared to the Hornby dead zone. So it has improved running over this bit slightly, and Pico points are very, very shiny, as I've stated before, and they just look very, very attractive. Other than that, if we move on to this bit here, we can see that 3-way point is in place. That track will connect up to that track, the middle track up to there, and this bit will lead off to a turntable just in that corner over there. I'm just having a bit of trouble with the cork underlay at the moment and cutting certain bits of flexi-track to connect up to the sardine. Look at she's stranded. And also another point that's been replaced is the Hornby express point that was here. A little bit of work was required to get this into place. I had to cut the piece of flexi-track down to size here, and a new piece of flexi-track here. And I've got just Hornby small pieces of track just here. Nothing major. And everything's fine, everything works fine. The Pico points look dead realistic. Obviously if you're going to go for the electro-frog ones, that'll make them even more realistic, but there's probably about £100 worth of points in these 3 tracks here, and electro-frog points are slightly more, so I'd be spending £100 on essentially a slightly improved running layout. So I think I'll leave those insole frog for now, and I'll implement electro-frog points wherever possible. As we can see, these 2 end stations are also starting to take shape. As we can see here, this one runs along here, and I think this is 8.4 centimetres away from the nearest running rail. That's how wide these Metcalf kits are, so I can get this in between there without the trains colliding with the platform. So these are 8.4 centimetres apart, as is this one, and every couple of centimetres or so I measure it to make sure it is 8.4 centimetres apart, because chances are this isn't completely straight. So what I do is once I semi-hammer it down if you like, with the nails sticking out halfway, and I measure every 5 centimetres to make sure it's 8.4 centimetres away from the nearest running rail. And if we look down here, evidently it more or less is. So I think we're more or less sorted for the Metcalf kits there. And as for this bit here, just here, when that's completed, I will start work on a massive Metcalf kit, which will stretch, which will be curved here, and will stretch along here all the way up to the curved bit there. And the Metcalf kits on this side will stop here, and the little other Metcalf kit will come in between here, so the passengers can walk out here into the booking hall, which will be here, and go about their own business and go nowhere. And that's everything more or less sorted, really. Well, what else is there to say other than the layout has progressed absolutely tremendously. I'm really satisfied with the progress I've made, especially with the power bus, and the rest of it will be finished as soon as possible. But the power bus just makes things so much easier. Instead of having to stretch things from the DCC select all the way up to the point where you want the electricity to be fed, it's just a case of feeding two coloured wires under the baseboard and connecting them to the back of the Hornby Select. This will then send out the current that this dishes out all the way under the baseboard, so you can freely cut the wires, insert some chock blocks, and feed power to the parts of the layout that need it most. That's essentially what it is. It just makes life a billion times easier when you're working with a model railway. And I think that sums up this layout update. Stay tuned for even more videos. I apologise for the very long absence. I've been busy with various things, such as my very special girlfriend Becky, who I love so much. Yeah, guys, once again, thank you very much for the tremendous support. DCC In-Depth series will continue. First episode was a bit bleak views and likes wise, but I'm determined, and the next episode will revolve around all the decoders, such as the digital decoder, accessory decoder, and the humble decoders that go inside our beloved locomotives. So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching indeed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. I'm not going anywhere, so don't worry.